my favorite states lately, Iowa.
I was in Iowa, yeah.
What do you think? Good people, right?
Yeah, very good people.
Yeah.
Very nice people. I love the Midwest, I do. But I was looking for Ted Cruz there because that's where, you know, they all hang out, you know. And he wasn't there. Then I looked under a rock. There he was.
He probably heard you were there.
He was hiding under Chris Christie.
A lot of fun, you and me.
Without Chris Christie fat joke is like a day without sunshine.
Wow. And mark my words, when he's inaugurated as president, you'll be the one crying and I get to laugh.
I'll be dead by then. That's not going to happen. Do you really believe that?
It's possible. In America, anything is possible.
Anything is possible in America. But right now in America, I just want to switch gears a little bit here because the serious situation, what's going on with Amtrak. There's an investigation into the Amtrak crash. Found the train engineer was driving over 100 miles an hour before the crash, and that safety features that could have prevented this were not in place. But yesterday, Republicans still voted to slash Amtrak funding by $250 million. Why? Why?
Day after.
Well,
has a reason.
I have an explanation. I feel like your translator, Joy. So in Republican world, here's what happened yesterday. Well, the bill was before the members of Congress, before the accident. And actually, the last time that funding for Amtrak was raised was on the heels of an accident. And I just am personally critical of careening from crisis to crisis. This is not how we should fund anything, Amtrak or the highways or anything. But the bill that came up yesterday, the other side of that is that Democrats were using a tragedy to try to push through a bill. Should Amtrak be sufficiently funded? I ride that train. My husband rides that train. My kid has been on that train. Yeah. Hell yes. But, you know,
I don't think that's a fair statement saying that the Democrats were...
I'm just telling you the other side. The other side...
The other side may be saying that, but that doesn't make it true.
Well, Steve,
I don't think that the Democrats were politicizing this issue because the issue was up for vote prior to, the accident.
The system that didn't work was funded.
The infrastructure here in America has been lacking for a very long time. Yes, the infrastructure here in America has been lacking funding for a very, very long time. And in regards to our highways, in regards to our bridges, in regards to our train system. Everything is falling apart.
Joe Biden called our airports. I agree with you.
Wait a second. They did not fund Amtrak reparations, their repairs, because Joe Biden rides that train. That's my theory.
Here's my issue. Why is it still a human behind the wheels of a machine that big?
That's the whole thing.
Like, we need something. I know it will put people out of jobs, but at the same time, this is a machine that can be run.
They have it. It's called positive train control, and it hasn't been implemented on all the trains, which could have prevented this from happening.
You mean a robot? You're talking about a robot.
No,
I'm talking
somebody
about
in a building going like this to the train.
Slows it down at the curve. But this goes back to the funding order. That system is funded. So it also, you know, one of the other, listen, I ride Amtrak. I wish they'd pour money into it so every train was safe. But the argument in Washington is about how inefficient Amtrak is, and that's just a fact.
Yeah, but we still have to ride it. Well, they're worried about how inefficient.
Other countries' train systems are doing well. How come we can't step up to the plate?
Especially in Asia, in regards to Japan's and China. It's crazy. It's crazy. We're supposed to be the world leader, and we are just lacking.
It just really could have been prevented, and that's the most heartbreaking thing about this.
We'll learn more in the days to come.
You know what? Infrastructure-wise, we're becoming a third-world country.
And you guys can keep yelling at me because I got another one for you. Jeb Bush has barely stepped foot on the campaign trail. He actually hasn't officially announced as a candidate. He's running an exploratory committee. But already his family politics are something that he has to answer for. And I want to take my hat off to him because he did something yesterday that no Democrat, no Republican on the campaign trail has done yet. He took questions from a college student from the other political party. Here's some video from a college Democrat confronting him about the wars in Iraq.
Your brother created ISIS through the Iraqi coalition authority. You don't need to be pedantic to me, sir. You can just answer my question, which is, my question is, why are you saying that ISIS was created by us not having a presence in the Middle East?
By the time we left,
countless wars where we send young men to die for the idea of American exceptionalism. It's this idea, like, why are you spouting nationalist rhetoric to get us involved in war?
we respectfully disagree.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Well, he's between a rock and a hard place, sort of. But because he has loyalty to his, how shall we put this? intellectually challenged brother.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And what's the correct answer to, if you had the information about Iraq that now, if you had it then, would you have made the same decision that your brother made? The answer is no. That's the answer. No American believes in that war. Why are they pretending that it was okay to have that war?
Well, let me wars that people don't want to be a part
of. But that, in particular, created so much unrest in the Middle East.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ray.
So there's been so many wars that I've witnessed and seen in the history books that Americans don't want to be a part of, but still the government goes forth and does it. It's money issues, it's personal connections. Just from my outside, I feel like it's not to benefit us all the time. It's to raise our bank accounts in the government and other things.
That's right.
But I don't think that Jeb could have answered the question. He's not his brother. It's like you said, he's stuck between his loyalty to his family, which he really backs, and what would he have done? I don't know what we have done. Maybe he's going to be president, and we're going to find out.
Okay.
But
I understand what you're both saying about him being in Iraq, in regards to him defending his brother. But if you are running for the president of the United States, and he says he's not officially, but yesterday he kind of slipped up and said he was, and then he said, well,
I kind of slipped up.
Yeah, you know, but what I'm saying is you do have to answer these hard questions. And you do have to be
answer the question. He wasn't not president.
Well, the thing is that they're asking Hillary about Bill Clinton. Why can't they ask Jeb Bush about his brother?
She's not answering.
That's not the point, whether she answers it or not. The point is those questions can be asked. Whether he answers them or not is another issue.
The answers about Bill Clinton are positive. We had a great country at the time that he was in charge. When his brother was in charge, it was a mess.
Listen, I mean, I revere George W. Bush, and I know you and I disagree on that, but...
I never want to meet him because I think I would probably like him. He's a good old boy.
You would like him.
But I totally disagree with him on every point.
But here's the thing. George W. Bush gave Jeb Bush the answer he needed. George W. Bush has since said, he writes in his book, that we know that the intelligence on which we went to war was false, and it gives him a sickening feeling.
Don't you remember?
Jeb Bush could have gone at least as far as his brother went. So I think this is going to be something that the voters really do understand intuitively. That of course Jeb Bush is his own man. I don't know. Do any of you have siblings? I have brothers. They don't even vote Republican.
You're talking about the country versus your brother.
Of course you are. And Jeb Bush is going to be running as the best person to run the country. Of course he has to answer questions. But the notion that Jeb Bush somehow has to answer for everything his brother did is something that the voters are not going to accept.
But that wasn't the question. The question was, why was he blaming the United States for ISIS? And for pulling out of Obama pulling out of Afghanistan and pulling the troops out of Iraq.
He watches Fox News.
That was the question. But it really wasn't.
But Democrats
not let him answer.
It wasn't about
Democrats and Republicans have said that by pulling out of that country completely and not leaving troops there to keep it secure, that did give rise to ISIS.
It's a
debate that will never end. We'll be right back.
Next, it was one of the most epic celeb meltdowns ever, and you won't believe what Charlie Sheen's saying about it now.
Welcome back. I'm having so much fun here today. Well, here's a story. Gwyneth Paltrow's mother, Blythe Danner, the beautiful, the talented, lovely, I love her. She says that she knows why there are so many Gwynny haters out there. It's because she's so beautiful and accomplished that people are intimidated. I know how she feels because I have the same issue. But does a statement like that, do you think, help Gwyneth or hurt Gwynny?
Listen, a mother's love is unconditional. I actually like hearing that. And I guess Blythe Danner spends more time on Twitter than I did because I didn't know she had that many haters. But why are people so mad at Gwen?
I think, you know, she's always like, she's not behind women. She's not a woman's woman. But I think she's judged very harshly.
Really?
People, do you see her play with her kids? Do you see her go to dinner and be a mother and be a wife and be...
Well, according to her mother, she's a very good parent.
She's a very good parent, and I think as a society, we judge women so harshly. Brutally that, of course, her own mother is going to say, I love my daughter. She's a great girl. I mean, I would say my Scarlett, who's only 7 weeks old, does everything fabulous.
Perfect.
It's perfect.
Of course.
But I just think we have to be careful in how much we judge people.
One of the problems with her that I was reading about is that some of her tips are off the wall. Like she tells you to steam clean your vagina.
But that's what she wants to do.
How to do that?
What's that she wants to do?
And a special
With like an iron steamer? How do you do that?
She's talking about an iron steamer.
But I think she's judged. Because, like, okay, well, exactly. You're eating ramen noodles, and then you're eating a great cup of soup at a great restaurant.
You know what I mean?
She also has like a very strict workout and diet regimen that's sort of unattainable and expensive for most women. So I think
that works for her. That works for her, and we have to be open
she shares it a lot.
And she should,
but
because there's enough people in the world to connect to her in some way. Everyone should have their own way of thinking, and we should not judge and condemn everything that everyone says just because it's not what you're learning.
But she was very much attacked. She was attacked for going on food stamps to see how food stamps would work out for someone like her who's trying to eat healthy. And then they told us in the meeting that she bought like 4 lemons. Now,
but I think that, like,
you need vitamin C, but lemons are not essential items.
Well, I remember we were a little hard on her for that. RP wasn't actually. What are you thinking? I see the thought bubble above your head again.
What is it?
I mean, in regards to the food program, that's a separate issue. I thought it was an unrealistic approach, but outside of that, I think it's a silly discussion. I mean, leave the woman alone. We don't put this much stress on Martha Stewart. You know, and she loves lemons, right? I love Martha Stewart. I love Martha Stewart, but who can live like Martha Stewart? How many of us can live like... She's perfect in my book. Yeah. She's so perfect. I aspire. But you know what I mean? It's
How do you think Martha gets that accent? She sucks on lemons.
Well, here's the deal. When you suck on a lemon, you might end up... I'm trying really hard. When you suck on a lemon, you might end up like this person. Who can forget Charlie Sheen's epic battle against 2.5 men? Winning! But after all, that craziness here, now this is what he's saying. All right, take a look.
I should have been a little more humble, a little more regretful. I shouldn't have attacked them like I did, and I probably should have begged for my job back. You know what? Beg is a color I don't wear well. I probably should have requested my job back.
That's your only regret?
Well, yeah, I think that what went down was fixable, and I made it irreparable.
I love him.
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, not that you've ever melted down to this degree, but have you guys ever... Well, I've melted down really bad. Have you guys ever did something that you were saying, oh, I shouldn't have done that. What was I thinking?
Well, isn't he the guy that did all the cocaine and had all the hookers at the hotel? I mean, wasn't
no
he?
comment.
I mean, it was spiraling, but I love seeing that.
You weren't in the room. We weren't in the room with him.
And he said really bad things
But
to
I love
his
the
boss.
humility and the gratitude that he actually showed. I mean, he had a wonderful ride, something that, as an actor, I would kill to have, to work with amazing people and to have that long ride of being
You'd
on...
never end up in a hotel room with hookers and cocaine.
Exactly, but he did it to himself. He was self-sabotaging himself. Don't you agree?
And you also don't really know what was going on. Again, the media
But
only
I read
portraying
it on page 6.
Well, did you read his diary? Like, I know we talked about that I might get, hurt for this, but there's a lot of things that celebrities go through that nobody knows about, and then you think that the glitz and glamour that we go through is just the most beautiful thing in the world. There is stress, there's alcohol problems within our community, there's drug addiction problems within the entertainment community, there's problems in there, and we continue to just say, oh, it's okay, but you're famous and rich. No, it's difficult, and he went through a problem.
Well, I guess, but he's also like a gazillion. Wasn't that his daddy who was here this week? Who's the nicest? I mean, this is the guy who had life by the you-know-whats and totally blew it, and I have no sympathy for him.
Doesn't he have another show, Anger Management?
He does.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds like a good show for him.
Yeah, but he had that. Is it still on the air?
I don't know.
See, they recycle a lot of drug addicted
Right. They never get fired. They just change networks.
Yeah.
Well, the question was, did any of us ever regret something we've done on the job? It wasn't my official job, but I was a Soul Train dancer. And, yeah.
This girl has got the cutest figure.
Now I know what. Cute is the wrong word.
I lived in regret for years that I got in an argument with Don Cornelius, the late, great, God rest his soul, Don Cornelius, because he told me to stop humping on Keith Sweat. I was like, I'm not humping on him, he's humping on me. We get into
on what?
Keith Sweat. And he's a recording artist.
He's a singer from the 80s and 90s.
I'm still working on Frank Sinatra.
Yeah. What had happened was that he basically asked me to leave the studio, and I got in an argument with him, and he grabbed me by the arm, and I took a two-piece Kentucky Fried Chicken lunchbox, and I hit him, and a greasy leg hit him in the forehead.
You did in the forehead?
I did. No, it was a chicken wing. It hit him in the forehead, and I was in that second, I totally regretted my actions. I went in my car, I cried like a bitch, and I just wish, and I always regret that moment. I said, oh, I wish I could have controlled my temper.
Rosie, were you dancing with a box of chicken? Or
no.
was it just funny?
It was an album. We are going to start the Rosie Perez for President campaign in the break, but we will be right back with more Hot Topics.
You stuff up. Johnny Depp is sparking outrage down under, and you will never guess why. Next.
Welcome back to the View. Now, here's an interesting sort of deep story. Sports Illustrated model Hannah Davis is opening up about the burdens of being a model. She says she has to convert one of her bedrooms into a closet because, wait for it, she has too many bikinis. She's like the Imelda Marcos of bathing suits. Molly, I know that models have problems, but this is deeper than usual.
I mean, how many hangers do you need for your strings? I mean, these are deep, deep problems, you know? It's like, what? She said she has 200 bikinis. She probably does have 200 bikinis, but gives them away.
Yeah. Doesn't she date Derek Jeter?
Yeah, she does date Derek Jeter.
Maybe he's mad about all the bikinis.
Maybe
like
he
in
wants
his
to like have her
something.
in them all. But it's like, come on.
Your bikinis?
No, who hangs their bikinis?
No, maybe models.
Bikinis.
Well, you have to if you have that many, because they'd be in just a big pile. You wouldn't know where the top and the bottom
Okay,
are.
so I have to be honest with you.
Crazy.
I have to be honest with you. When I went to go buy another house, I made sure I had an extra bedroom because I needed to turn one of my bedrooms into a closet because I had too many shoes, too many stuff. Because again, in the industry, you get stuff.
Those are important things. Shoes and I mean shoes and coats. But not bikinis.
You were talking about why no one feels sorry for famous people when they have drug addictions. It's because they have bedrooms for their clothes. But keep going. Sorry.
Okay. Then let me say all the CEO wives who go and have people that buy them clothes and don't have to go shopping themselves. It's everywhere in a higher bracket of whatever. It's the elite.
But I just love that she was complaining about it. I mean, seriously, you're complaining about
I mean, and she's so little. Like, they can't be big, right? Aren't they little?
Hannah's small?
They're like this.
She's like tiny,
has these really good things
like, they have to be little bikinis.
So she's short? How do you have a short model? I've never heard of it.
You have a short.
Little bikinis.
All right. On another note, a California woman was fired from her job at a money transfer firm for disabling her work app that tracked her movement. But she wasn't at work at the time. Why do they need to know where she is on her free time?
Exactly.
You have a lot of problems with this, right?
I have an issue because if you have an iPhone, there is a location services in your settings. You can turn it on and off. It tracks you where you go. It shows how long you've been in a place, how to get there.
Like, who can see it?
It's for the apps that need to be on at all times. It's for your maps.
You turn it off.
If you turn it off, you can't use your app.
Exactly.
So I don't know where that information is going. I'm sure from that long license agreement that I did not read because whoever reads those, South Park told me that. And I just feel like you should be able to turn the location services off if you need to, but at the same time, we talked about kids, and you need to be able to see where they're going.
Kids and Joy. Like, I want to know where Joy's going.
The one that was fired.
She was fired because she said, I don't want you to know what I'm doing after. She said, I have no problem turning it on when I'm at work.
Yeah.
But
or on the clock.
Or on the clock.
But you know, the next step is FaceTime. They can see you steaming your vagina, for example. I don't need them to know what I'm doing.
But what if she has sensitive
agree.
information? What if she has sensitive information? What if that building is like, we're giving you really important information, we need to know where you're going at all
Unless
times?
she works for the CIA, it's not that
It should have been in her contract.
And they're watching everything anyway.
It should have been in the contract.
They're watching everything anyway. All right, here's one for you. Johnny Depp is filming a Pirates of the Caribbean sequel in Australia, and he flew his 2 precious little dogs in on a private jet. But authorities have seized the animals because they didn't pass through customs, and says if he doesn't come and get them, they're going to put them down. Free Johnny Depp's dogs. That's awful. Look at that.
You have to follow the rules, Johnny Depp. You need to go into quarantine,
Get your
boo.
private jet and fly them back. They didn't want to be in the Caribbean. Pistol and Boo.
But the issue of them putting the dogs down, making that threat is just ridiculous. And, you know, the use of Twitter is just so appropriate right now. I think they should put hashtag free Johnny Depp's dogs.
Right?
You know, just...
rules of the country.
Yes, they should. He should
Fly them back.
What about
Fly
the
them
rules
back.
of the country?
But they should adhere to the rules of the country, but making the threat of killing your dogs, that's a whole different bag of tricks.
Will they thumbs down on
put the
Australia?
dingoes
Leave
down.
the dogs out of it. I think they should fine Johnny Depp. But
Find him and give him his dogs.
I'll take those
Don't kill
dogs.
the dogs.
All right, we will be right back with Chandra Wilson and James Pickens Jr. Don't go away.
Grey's Anatomy has already left fans emotional wrecks. So how are they topping themselves on the season finale? Chandra Wilson and James Pickens Jr. Get you ready next.
Everyone's fate is hanging in the balance right now in Grey's Anatomy. So is anyone getting a happy ending on tonight's season finale?
Hello.
Ooh, hello. Let's find out. Please welcome Chandra Wilson and James Pickens Jr. People, 11 years, original cast members.
Because of all the fans of the show. Thank you guys.
Why do you think the fans keep coming back?
Wow, I mean, you guys are so invested in these characters, like always have been from the beginning, and we just keep trying to stay current, keep moving stories forward. But this is the 11th season, going into the 12th.
You know, I know you know as an actor, you're so lucky. I mean, this never happens.
It does not.
It just doesn't.
Very, very rarely this happens. I mean, most actors will go their whole careers and never experience anything closer.
Did you think when it first aired 11 years ago that you would still be sitting here?
I just was happy to have a job at that point.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You know,
like maybe one season, but certainly not, you know,
nothing,
to this
nothing
extent.
nothing like this. That's just,
Well, about 3 weeks ago, McDreamy, played by Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still grieving. Still grieving.
And there was a huge reaction by the fans. So what do you make of that? What do you think about all that?
I think it was just, it's just a testament to how invested the fans, you all, have been in these 11 seasons and how these characters have become part of our lives. You know, our lives as cast members, but also you all as audience and fans. And also, it's a testament to how well he portrayed that character and how well,
Absolutely.
I was shocked.
Honestly,
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, my McDreamy is gone.
My McDreamy, I'm still worried about Meredith. I mean, first her mother died. I mean,
that's where the viewers are now.
I mean, I don't want to freak you guys out, but I really, is Meredith going to be okay?
Well, that's what we got to see, right? And we got to watch her go through that journey.
I'm going to see if I can find her something.
Okay. All right. New McDreamy.
Now, you guys never give us anything, but I'm still going to try. What, you know, the season finales are unbelievable. I usually need like a drink and a sleeping pill afterwards. But can you give us any hints? Am I going to be disappointed? Am I going to be sleeping?
Are you ever disappointed?
No.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Then that's your drink?
He never ceases to amaze us.
Bailey, though, I have to say, this isn't here, but I have to say vajayjay is a word in my vocabulary thanks to Bailey giving birth. Okay. Anyway, we all like vajayjay. We all love Bailey. I have to play this because I know you're not a doctor in real life. I'm not that delusional about acting. But you did soothe one of your fellow actors by singing. Can we play that?
Oh, listen, sister, I love my Mr. Man, and I can't tell you why. There ain't no reason why I should love that.
You have a beautiful voice, but I'm sorry, that boy would make me sing too. He is beautiful.
Well, you know, I kind of think it's my fault. I was directing an episode, and he needed to get out to come and do the All-Stars here in New York, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll shoot you out early. And what does he do? He goes and busts his leg. So I'm taking responsibility for it.
Now, James, this is something about you that's interesting. I understand you're a big fan of cattle roping. And
yes.
Where did that start?
You know, I'm dating myself here, but I'm a child of the '50s and loved westerns. You know, grew up watching them with my father and brother, and I've always been a fan of the Western lifestyle. And about 20 years ago, I started team roping, and I got involved with the USTRC, United States Team Roping Championship.
But you do it on the set.
I have a little practice dummy that I do. And if you were walking around, I'd probably try and feel you and stuff.
That's very sexy. I mean, you with a rope out there. Woo!
So let me ask you something. Does that hurt the animal?
No, you know, there's a real misnomer about the rodeo and treatment of animals, and obviously that's one thing cowboys have always prided themselves in is taking care of their animals.
They don't hurt them when they take them on the ground and move them.
No, you know, it's rare. I mean, you may get 2 runs on a cow or a calf or something like that where you're roping, but most times they're out there eating grass and stuff and having a good time. Matter of fact, I wish I had their life. But no, we protect their ears and stuff like that, so they're fine. Yeah.
Chandra, you recently starred in a small film called Muted. That is an award-winning film and hoping to be made into something bigger. Right. What it's about?
Muted can be seen now on HBO, HBO Go, and also at the Soho International Film Festival on Saturday. We're having a screening, and it is a film that you guys have talked about a lot on The View, the issue. A daughter goes missing, and it's about how do we get the media, how do we get police to take this issue seriously. Yeah, exactly, and it's not that everybody's running away. Something has happened to this child.
Now, James, you and your wife are celebrating 31 years together, right?
31.
And you in all your free time, you've opened a restaurant together, and I believe we have some of your offerings here. But can you tell us what kind of food you'll be serving?
It's going to be, it's from my wife is starting a restaurant. It's called Forks in the Road in North Hollywood, and she's introducing little known and authentic Southern recipes. It's an incredible twist on home cooking and Southern style cooking.
Cream pie or something?
No, this is called buttermilk pie.
And it's
so
delicious. Our thanks to Chandra Wilson and James Pickens Jr. The season finale on Grey's Anatomy airs tonight at 8 p.m. right here on ABC. We'll be right back. Oh my God!
Try Band-Aid brand Comfort Sheer Bandages, our most stretchable sheer bandage ever. They're 50% more stretchable, so they fit snug to protect even tough spots from dirt and germs. Band-Aid brand. Use with Neosporin antibiotic.
The Vampire Diaries are holding their breath for tonight's season finale. And in this sneak peek, there's already a body count. Let's take a look.
Damon.
Bonnie Bennett. You have no idea how good it is to hear your voice right now.
Damon, Kai's out.
I know. I'm glad you're safe. I was worried Kai already got to you.
He did, and I don't know how, but I'm still alive. He drained my blood, and that's all.
That's not all. He was at the wedding. Joe's daddy killed her.
Oh, my God.
And Elena got knocked out, and she's not...
Down. Please welcome Cat Graham. we talk about the Vampire Diaries, you just walked out to your own song called 1991.
We jammed out. We jammed out. Yes, that's my new single, 1991.
I love it. I graduated in 1991.
A little bit about the 90s, Mom.
This video is awesome right now. What is it about the 90s that you, I mean, I love the 90s, so I get it, but what is it about the 90s that you love so much?
Well, you know, more than the music, more than the fashion, it was such an iconic moment for so many women. I mean, there were women that were doing, it was just such a surge of women empowerment in the 90s.
TLC,
from
Toni Braxton.
Exactly.
Like so many people.
Absolutely. Janet
Jackson.
So it was a big moment for me. I was a little bit young, so I went into the archives and I was looking at that kind of energy of the 90s and when I was most inspired.
I love that you go into the archives in 1991.
They're deep in there.
They're deep in there.
They're deep in there.
A little bit.
You were killing it in 1991.
You were killing it.
Oh, I was killing
You
it.
were killing it.
Oh, well, I don't know about that, but thank you.
Yes, you were.
With the chicken upside his head.
And you just recently worked with Babyface, right? Who
Well, I'm working with him now. Hi, Kenny.
She knows him personally. Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny, yes, he's extremely talented, and I'm really excited to be working with. It's kind of a
Were you intimidated?
Surreal. Well, you kind of just stare at him, you know. It's just kind of he's just so amazing and so talented and so iconic and so brilliant that, yeah, I can't believe I get to work with him. I really am blessed.
Okay, so the Vampire Diaries is a huge phenomenon, and for people out there, huge. They're witches, and they're vampires, they're doppelgangers, but for the few people who don't know about the show, tell us a little bit about it.
The show is about two vampire brothers that fall in love with a human who is now a vampire. I play a witch on the show, kind of sometimes the heroine and sometimes a little villainy. And it's, it's the season finale today, so anyone watching, please watch tonight at 8 p.m. on the CW. 6 years we've been on the show.
Yes.
And this is our season finale.
Let's talk about the season finale. Let's talk about the season finale because for several reasons, one of which there's been some big cast changes with Nina Dobrev, who plays the lead character, Elena, and she's leaving the show after this season.
She is leaving.
So what does it mean for the future of the show?
Well, we've been always an ensemble cast, the way Julie Plec and Carolyn Dries and Brian Young, the way the writers have written it, especially the past few seasons, is very much an ensemble cast show. You know, there are some characters that aren't in every episode, and you know, not one person is in every scene. So we'll get to definitely work more together. And
I hear a rumor you and Ian Somerhalder, maybe your characters.
Oh, the characters? I don't know. You know, the fans want that for a long time. I know that Ian and I have been campaigning to work together. We work with Ivana Chubbuck, who has been our longtime acting coach, and we love working together and working with her on scenes. So fingers crossed that we get to do more work together.
Okay, so let's get to you a little bit more. When you're not acting,
no problem.
When you're not acting and recording, I love this. You do quite a bit of traveling, and I hear that after the Cannes Film Festival, which you did a movie for, you're working in the, you have a movie coming out soon.
It's a film series.
But you were also for a special trip for World Refugee Day?
Yeah, World Refugee Day. It's June 20th. I work with the UNHCR. I'm a high-profile supporter with them. Me and my World Affairs advisor, Reese Goldschin, and I are going to travel to Central America, and we're going to get a first-hand look, a first-hand experience with what is happening within the region that is making so many people flee to the U.S.-Mexico border. So we'll be able to experience it and document it and see what work that the UNHCR is doing to help these people, to help these refugees, and hopefully bring awareness. But please go to the UNHCR.org to support on World Refugee Day. It's a huge passion of mine and a lot of my life's work.
Thank you so much, Kat Graham, for coming on the show today. And the season finale of The Vampire Diaries airs tonight. We'll be right back.
Our thanks to Raven and Molly for being here and to Joy for bringing the topic of vagina steaming to our table today.
And have a great day, everybody. And don't forget to take a little time to enjoy the view.